TG Tutorials.
I'm reliable. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of TG Tutorials. And this episode is going to be a bit more special than usual because this episode has Tristan Walter. I know your last name. I had forgotten if you've given your last name out online before, and you have. You've said your full name in the videos, or in the podcast, but for a second I was like, has he done it? Because there's some people that haven't that have worked with us. So I try to respect that, but It's funny because wait, no, you have. So anyway, so it's me and Tristan here. And Tristan, what are we going to teach people today, Tristan?
Pokemon.
Yes, but not how to catch them, because as far as I know, they don't exist yet. I don't know every government secret, but as far as I know...
Matt, that's what I signed up for.
To teach people Pokemon?
Yeah.
Alright, you can get out. No. I mean, he could leave whatever he wants to, legally, technically. Don't tell them. But he could leave whatever he wants to. But he's actually not leaving just yet, because what we're teaching you specifically is how to spot a fake Pokemon Game Boy game. We're not looking at Game Boy Advance in particular. Of course, there are a lot of fake Pokemon Game Boy Advance games out there, to be fair. But I don't have any personally. So I don't have any myself. So I can't tell you guys. I mean, I could give you guys some hints and some tips without actually showing you a physical cartridge. It's not gonna be meaningless, but I mean, we need to show you the physical item to be like, this is what you don't buy, this is what you do buy, and things like that. Okay, so we're gonna go and look at something that, for some people, it might be easy to spot as a fake.
Right.
For others, it might not. So we're gonna talk about how to spot fake Game Boy cartridges, specifically Pokemon. So let's look at our 5 cartridges here. 2 of them are fake.
Oh.
2 of them are fake. Now, the reason why I say 2 is because Tristan already knows which one is fake. So we have to throw a little wrench in here.
You have to add the element of surprise. Throw off the guest.
All right, so we're gonna look right now. Now, one of these is actually in a case. So I'm gonna take that out right now. Also, you can see a close-up of all 5 games here. I want to point that out as well. And one of these games actually doesn't even have a label on it. I have a good Pokemon Yellow label. I just can't find it right now. Okay, so we see these 5 games right. We do have to look for it right now. Okay. Look here. So, out of these 5 games, which 5 do you think, Tristan, are... Well, which 2, obviously, out of the 5 are fake?
Okay, well, the one that I know is the green version.
Pokemon Green. Now, this really matters, guys. This matters because you could easily just do your research. Quick research online, and you'd find out that Pokemon Green was never released in the US. So we'll talk about what is actually on this cartridge and what this cartridge is a little bit later on. But as of right now, Tristan immediately knows that it's fake. But Tristan, the question is, what about it, other than it being Pokemon Green, kind of tells you that this is fake?
I mean, right on the cartridge you can see at the top where you usually have Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. It just says game. Right,
so on the front there, immediately, you're like, wait, that says game, that's super duper sketchy. Yeah. Just immediately it's super sketchy. So that's the first thing. Secondly, when looking at some of these other games here, while the label looks really good, to be fair, it could look a lot worse.
Yeah.
It's clearly not the same quality as some of these other labels. At least when you look at these 2 games over here from the 2nd gen, obviously it's hard to tell with yellow, and with red over here, it's somewhat. But still, it's a good label, to be fair. And it's even trying really hard by having this side out stuff over here. Yeah. So it's trying, but again, clearly a fake because of game. Now, you might say to yourself, well, what if, I don't know, what if it's a real game, but maybe it's a fake, a shell or something like that. Well, then you'd be able to open up the cartridge, which we'll be doing a little bit later, and you'll see that there's clearly differences between this cartridge and some of the other cartridges that are real. Now, But here's another thing too, I don't know if you noticed. If you turn around the cartridge, you can actually see that there is a blank spot right there on top, and that would normally be where the Nintendo logo would be.
Right.
So that's another red flag right there. If there's a cartridge with no Nintendo logo either on the back or Game Boy or something like that on the front, you're dealing with a fake. Also, when you look down here, depending on, if I'm pretty sure, let me just check just to make sure myself. No, it doesn't seem like there's because usually with Game Boy Advance games, you would have a kind of like some kind of barcode number or something like that here,
Right.
which would also end up reflecting this code right here, DMG APAE-USA.
Right.
Also, by the way, if any of you have a smartphone, let's say you're doing this in person, because you're obviously, I would imagine if you're trying to look up fakes on the fly to see if it's not a fake, you do it in person, you Google that number and then see if it corresponds with the actual number of the actual game itself, the barcode, because Nintendo isn't just going to pick some random numbers for every single one. They're going to have different ones that correspond to the game itself. Now, that's the first fake that we found here. What do you think is the second fake?
Well, you picked up gold as a comparison, so I'm guessing it's not that one.
Mm.
And I'm going to look at the others.
Yes, and this is what really matters here, guys. You really have to pick up these games, turn them around and look, and you see, I'm sorry, by the way, not Nintendo on the back, it's made in Japan, which,
Right.
you know, but still, it's
Crystal
still something
has also Nintendo and Made in Japan on the back as
There
well.
you go. See, so that says that right there. And then you flip gold in the front. It says Nintendo Game Boy on the front. Also, something else major to note as well. If you look at gold right here, you can see that there's a 12 barcoded
Yeah.
into the sticker itself. Nintendo does that as well.
Right.
Try to make sure that the game is not a fake.
Right.
Here, if you look, no such thing.
Yeah, and that one, it's interesting. It actually has, well, it looked like Nintendo, which
Yes.
red version has Nintendo, but Crystal and Gold have the actual seal.
Right.
But another thing that stands out with this is that it doesn't state the version title, like Crystal version, Gold version.
Right, of course. It doesn't say green version on it itself, which, if
Although
green was real...
Red doesn't either, so...
Interesting. But let's look at the cartridge
Yeah,
itself.
made
On
in
the back it
Japan.
says made in Japan. And then this
And
yellow right
does as
here,
well.
yes,
Made in Japan, penned.
right, which does say it on the back of gold
Okay.
as well, patent pending.
Okay.
And so,
So then, for me,
mhm.
I actually don't know.
And that's good, because I was actually deceiving you. There's only one fake, the rest are real.
Oh, okay.
But that's a good thing right there, because telling him that it was fake immediately triggered something in him. He immediately said, I have to see which one is fake. And it brought a sense of, not just urgency, but like a kind of sleuth in you, where normally if I told you, yeah, they're all real, you go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't really kind of dig in to the differences here. So, yes, the only one that was fake here is Pokemon Green. The rest are real. But the reason why I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about this, and now we're getting into the more nitty-gritty, not so much what's inside the cart, but looking at what's inside the cart, but just discussing it. So I was talking to you about this game earlier. And some people say, hey, buying repros, no problem. Come on. Your game doesn't exist here. Let's buy the repro. I can actually tell you, because it's not going to inflate the price at all, right? This game, Pokemon Green, was $4 online. So some people might go, then I can just get Pokemon Yellow online for $4. Sure, it won't look like the real Pokemon Yellow. It'll look more like an orangey, because I'm sure you've seen some of the pics of some of the fakes going around.
Yeah.
So why not just do that, right? Well, the issue is when I turned on Pokemon Green and I actually played it and saved it, one thing ended up happening. It didn't actually save the game.
Right.
So the data was immediately corrupted when I tried saving the game. It's very interesting because now you might say, well, Matt, I have experience putting in batteries, so it really doesn't matter. I'm going to customize it the way I want to. Well, then that, in a way, comes down to you knowing what you're doing. In a way, if you know what you're doing to that point, probably just, why wouldn't you just buy a fake board and try to just get the ROM online and do that yourself? Why go through the process of paying a bootlegger?
Yeah.
Not, because here's the thing too, by the way, it's not like you're paying your local neighborhood, you're like a good friend of yours, local neighborhood repro guy, right? Because there's people like that, just a friend, a neighbor, whoever, someone in your general like gaming neighborhood, if you will, like just gaming circle, that will make a game like that for you. I don't do that, but usually it ends up putting on like English translations on Japanese games or discs or things like that. I don't do that. I don't like to sell those. I feel that's a really bad gray area. But some people do, and that's from someone you know and you trust, so you know you're going to get a quality product. This was bought straight from China, straight from bootleggers, and I didn't get a quality product. I got a game that, guess what, exists online. They didn't work on this game. They didn't translate this game. This is actually, funnily enough, the reason why I brought out red here is because green, the one that's online, there's a few different translations online, but the green that I saw online, which is this one, is actually red just with the translation switched with a few words here and there. And maybe I would imagine catch rates as well. I would imagine, but I didn't get that far because I can't save.
Right.
So the fact that, yes. So basically what it does is it takes red and it ends up taking most of the script, flipping a few things around, and keeping red sprite, which is weird. But Bulbasaur sprite in the beginning. It's very strange. And putting it in this game. Something that, like I said earlier, exists online. And also I want to mention that, this is what you can do to spot these fake games, at least when it comes to Pokemon games. But you know what, when it comes to Game Boy games in general, there are a lot of fake games out there that have game in front of it.
Right.
So to be fair, it's not like it's a whole thing where like, how can you, if it was a fake, Detective Conan game or fake Dragon Ball Z game or Yu-Gi-Oh game or something, how would you be able to tell? No, you'd be able to tell because it just says game right there, and on the back it doesn't say made in Japan.
Right.
It's just some random cartridge that someone slapped together in some warehouse just to try to get you to pay for it, thinking that Pokemon Green came out in the US. And guess what? It didn't. So yeah, and also, by the way, on screen right now you can actually see me opening up the cartridge and showing the differences between something like Pokemon Green and Pokemon Red. And you can see that right now because I just want to show you guys, I'm going to do a specific What's in a Cart episode about it directly, but I do want to show you guys in this video because obviously, again, we want to show you how to spot these differences. Because, again, if you don't know, and of course people would say, well, you should do your research. Well, this is you doing your research right here, right? Us. We're research, Tristan. We're a footnote somewhere. People would say, Matt and Tristan said.
It's always been my dream to be a footnote somewhere. I
Yeah.
never thought it would be here, but okay.
Yeah, right? I mean, but I wanted to bring you on because not only you can tell because of your hoodie, but you're a big fan of Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the early Pokemon games, and if you could have gotten Pokemon Green, you would have.
Yeah.
But you couldn't.
Yeah.
Didn't exist here. And it was very hard to get. Sadly, not that hard to get repros in the 90s, but very hard at our age,
Yeah.
little tiny kids, to get Japanese games that, not without getting them for an arm and a leg.
Right, yeah.
So, but now, very easy to do that. So, even just if it's just the cartridge itself, not in the box. So, if you guys want to go out there and buy Pokemon Green, I would suggest you do. Just the official version, not this hunk of junk. Because it doesn't save.
Yeah.
And as you can tell by me opening it up, there seems to be a battery in there, but it doesn't save. So what, I have to replace the battery? That's more money. So if you're going to spend $10 to play this, just get the Japanese cartridge, right?
Yeah.
And again, if you're so savvy enough to say, no, I'm going to replace this and replace that, and then, and go Frankenstein on this thing, maybe you can look at some other devices, some other ways to kind of make your own repros from scratch for your own personal use. There are ways to do that. Yeah, sure, you won't have a pretty label like this Pokemon Green,
Right.
but you could still play any of your, translations that you have for different Pokemon or really any kind of Game Boy game on your official Game Boy with the right hardware. We'll talk about that in future episodes of TG Tutorials because I don't have that hardware yet either. So that's that. It's not serious money, but it does, save you money in the long run. Instead of having to buy these, yeah, they're $4, but that adds up, especially if they're this bad quality, Like after a while, you're not just spending $4. You're then spending money on batteries. You're then spending money on potentially replacing batteries. It's just that's just my take on it, right? And I think you feel the same way. It's like I told you this didn't save. You were like, well, that's not a good deal.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
no.
especially for something like Pokemon, because
Exactly, yeah.
you're not going to sit there and play through a whole Pokemon game in one sitting.
No.
I've tried. No.
Yeah, no, it's not.
When I was younger, but still, no.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, it is advised potentially, but it's not always the case. It's not what's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you like the video, and also click on any videos around us, maybe on our faces, telling you guys to see some other videos on this channel that you may or may not like. And if you don't like them, here's what you do. If you don't like the video, you click on it, then you comment saying, eh. Just you can comment below if you don't like the video.
Like this cartridge.
Yeah.
Eh.
This guy, Game? There's a big question mark at the end of it, really. Thank you all so much. Love you guys. Take care and see ya. And if you want more guest hosts on TG Tutorials, then please tell us below. And if you don't, then you can also tell us below. And Tristan will never come on. It's okay, buddy. It's okay, sport. Old pal.
So, should I open this up for you right now?
I don't know. We'll do it in post.
No, you sure?
Mm.
I could just, like real easy, like right now.